week behind, man. It just
you felt like Shannon Allen being late.
Listen, there's all these people worried about the quarter of an inch of snow we're gonna get, and numbers just get away from me.
Well,
sometimes.
Shannon's having a hard time getting here too, going through that snow.
That's exactly what he said. He said he's going through snow traffic.
That's what I figured.
That was his words.
All them people running to get that bread and milk.
Another thing, why do you buy everything that goes bad first? Why is that what you get? The milk, the bread, and the eggs, the three things in your house that are the most perishable and the things that will go bad the fastest.
Well, now if you go today, and most of the people are restocking today, so this bread's not going to go dead.
What are you making? Are you making French toast and drinking some milk with it? Because that's all you. That's all you can
have toast in the morning.
Oh God!
Then you got to have a sandwich, at dinner or in the evening for.
You gonna make an egg? You gonna make 3 egg sandwiches all day long, Terry? That's what you gonna do?
Some people eat breakfast all day long.
I mean, I can eat breakfast.
That's how come some places that you go drive-through serve breakfast all day
long.
Well,
yeah, but you're not eating 3 meals of breakfast, is what I'm saying. You can only eat soggy milk bread for so long until I guess it gets old.
Well, okay, I guess. All righty.
Before we get into, football, which is what this show is about, Terry, I want you to go over last week. Round 3 was last week. Go over the scores from that before we get into our picks for this round, the regional finals.
I sure will. In the 1A bracket, Murphy defeated Mitchell County 33-29. Big win for Coach Gentry. He moves with his 404th victory of all time. He's only now 8 behind Jack Hawley, who leads North Carolina in total victories. But Murphy moves on. And, out of their conference, which we'll get into this a little bit later, but the conference that Murphy's in, and they play Robbinsville tonight, but that conference right there has been in the last 9 championship games.
Wow.
A team out of that conference, and that's tremendous.
That's impressive, yeah.
Robbinsville, another team out of that conference, defeated Thomas Jefferson last week 32-13, and this is a game that I said, hey, Thomas Jefferson, you've had a great year, but when you get this deep, now you got to figure out something else how to win when you get here.
You're
and Robbinsville comes out on top 32-13. In the 1AA bracket, it was Starmount, now with a record of 7-6.
Finally getting over 500.
Started out the year 0-4, but they beat Polk County last week 21-7. Polk County come into this thing. They finished 5-9 on the year, but they made it to the 3rd round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
It was East Surrey with a rematch against Mount Airy for their now playoff championship game for them, but they did play each other in the championship of their conference, and Mount Airy come on top of that one 31-28. But then Coach Pruitt called us last week and told us a few players wasn't playing for Mount Airy, so East Surrey beats them 40-0. In the 2A bracket, it was Reidsville and Mount Heritage in another tight battle, but Reidsville comes out on top 21-14. And it was the passing game of Reidsville last week that defeated Mount Heritage. Wheatmore lost to Brevard last week. We always talk about the toughest Big 6 conference, and Brevard comes out on top 20-13 over Wheatmore. We did have a little bit of flack last week of a lot of people saying, man, y'all pick Wheatmore and Brevard beats them. and I thought this one would not even be close, and yep, you're right, I was wrong. Brevard wins. In the 2AA bracket, it was High Brighton 34, Bandy's 15. It was Shelby 35, North Lincoln 7. In the 3A bracket, it was Charlotte Catholic 28, Hunter Huss 7. And for you, Carson, I think this was maybe a surprise, maybe at the total point difference.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it would be for me more than anything. Like, I'm not necessarily surprised at the outcome because at this point you're playing, the best teams in the state. So anybody can win any game at that point. But, yeah, I mean, you had a short block punt return, and that really sort of tacks on to what would have been, without that, it's 21-7. But even then, you expect this game to be a one-score game. I think everybody did. You had arguably two of the best defenses in the state. 11 combined shutouts between them to this point. But it's the best season ever for Hunter Huss. I mean, quite honestly, probably the best team ever, to this point. And Coach McCoy, he's set a standard now. I mean, you go 13-0. You go through the regular season undefeated. You make it all the way into the 3rd round. And that's something that, Huss is a lot more used to something like that in basketball, I would say, than football.
Yeah, but congratulations to Hunter Huss. I know McCoy when anything was over. He said, this is tough, and I understand that when you got a team that he had and you lose your first game. But, hey, you lost to another great high school. Yeah. But in the other bracket game, it was Kings Mountain, no trouble with Northwest Cabarrus. Northwest Cabarrus come in, the number one team. Kings Mountain jumped out 35-0, led 35-7 at the half. No trouble for them, 49-28. In the 3AA bracket, it was Mount Tabor defeating AC Reynolds 24-21 in the last couple of seconds of the game. It was Weddington had no trouble with
that's
Watauga.
Another one. That's
42-14. And I was really surprised this at the point difference. And just like I told Tom and them when they was listening to us, I said, it's on account it was warm. You know, it was not as cold as what it should have been up there.
It's not quite the advantage, you should have if you're up on top of the mountain like that.
In the 4A bracket, it was Porter Ridge 42, West Meck 20, East Forsyth 41, Greensboro Grimsley 7. Surprising at the difference in the score. Grimsley usually plays pretty good, but they come in 7-5. East Forsyth had no trouble. In the 4AA bracket, Myers Park 37, Richmond County 14. Surprised at the difference in that score.
Yeah, I mean, this was that's a Myers Park team that's full of names, and not just high school names. I mean, professional names. So I mean, we talked about it last week. I mean, you can't rely on genetics necessarily to be a good football player, but you can if your dad isn't a former NFL football player. He can put you in the right places to learn a lot, and honestly, that helps your teammates in the long run too.
Yes, it does. In the other 4AA bracket, it was Vance 34, Huff High School 21. Huff High School had lost to Mallard Creek early and come back and beat them in the playoff, trying to do the same thing to Vance, but they come up short. In the South Carolina Big 16, it was T.L. Hanna 57, Burns 28, and Dutch 47, Somerville 14. Neither one of these games were even close. So tomorrow, T.L. Hanna will play Dutch Fork for the Big 16 state championship in South Carolina. Dutch Fork comes into that game. The closest game they've had this year has been 33-point difference in how they have beaten people.
Well, we'll get to a team here in a little bit that sounds a lot like that here in North Carolina. But, Terry, let's start over in the we'll start in the 1A in the Eastern bracket, and we'll start with the 2-4 matchup as Rosewood out of Goldsboro. They'll travel into Pamlico County to Bayboro, North Carolina, to take on the Pamlico County Hurricanes. This is obviously an Eastern matchup. A couple teams that we're not really familiar with coming into this one. Pamlico at 12-1 on the year, 5-1 in conference play, and Rosewood at 9-2, 4-1 in their conference play. Terry, how you feeling about this one?
Well, this is a game when I went back to look at it. Rosewood's out of the Carolina 1A conference. They finished second in behind Princeton, and Princeton, I don't think they are knocked out of the tournament. Yep, they're out of the tournament. But as they come into this, I looked at their schedule and I said, well, not finishing second in behind Princeton wasn't too bad. But then when I went to Pamlico, they in the Coastal Plains 1A conference. They finished second, but they finished second behind Tarboro. Yeah. So I was very impressed with them. They're 12-1. The only team they lost to was Tarboro. And I'm going to take Pamlico County right here to win this one, and I'm going to say it's going to be pretty easy. I know they come in as 12-1, Rosewood 9-2. I'm going to say Pamlico 35, Rosewood 14.
All right, we'll move over to the western side, and it'll be the number 4 seed Robbinsville traveling all the way back in to the 3 seed Murphy. Robbinsville coming into this one 11-2, Murphy 11-1. Obviously, Murphy is, their coach it'll be until next year before he picks up that record, but he's still got a couple more games I'm sure he'd like to win. Who do you have in this one?
Well, like I said, Coach Gentry, 404 wins, 7 state titles to his name. And, again, this conference here is the Smoky Mountain 1A conference. Robbinsville finished second in that one behind Murphy. Murphy did win it. They did play in September the 21st of this year. Murphy won 27-14 at Robbinsville. So as they come into this, I'm going to go out and I'm going to go ahead and take Murphy to win this one and move on for another shot at another state title. But I'm going to take Murphy, and I'm going to be close to the same game they had before. They are playing in Murphy this time. So I'm going to say Murphy 35, Robbinsville 24.
All right, we'll move to the big side of the 1A. The 1AA, and we'll start in the East with the 13-0 undefeated Tarboro Vikings. They'll be taking on the number 3 seed. That's John A. Holmes out of Edenton. Holmes coming into this one 12-1 overall, 5-0 in their conference. Terry, I mean, that was talking about Tarboro. They're a team that the first 10 games, the fewest they scored was 48, including, I want to believe, about 5 or 6 60-point games. Their closest game was a 35-14 regular season finale against Southwest Edgecombe. Who do you have in this one?
Yeah, this one right here. You look at Edenholm. Edenholm's pretty stout every year in the playoffs. Tarboro's always. Tarboro comes out of the Coastal Plains 1A, and Edenholm comes out of Albemarle 1A. Both of them were conference champions coming into this. And Shannon, thank you. Glad you made it. But I'm going to take Tarboro to win this one, and I'm going to say 42-14.
Well, Shannon, I hate to just throw you into the fire, but Tarboro against John A. Holmes out of Edenton. Obviously, Tarboro undefeated. I mean, Holmes is no slouch, though. 12-1 coming to this one. Who you got?
I'm going to take Holmes. Tarboro?
Okay.
I'm going to take Holmes. I don't know why, but I'm going to take Holmes right now.
He's just got an itch. He's got.
Yeah,
he's
he just wants to
Wait
come
a minute.
in.
Wait a minute.
here.
Tarboro's playing who? Oh, I'm looking at Mount Tabor. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tarboro.
Yeah, we're on 3 right now. Going to 4.
Well, we can drop back and let him pick
I mean,
them
yeah,
first
no,
too.
you want, yeah. We'll let you run through them real quick. The first game was Rosewood, Pamlico County. Terry, who'd you take in that one?
I took Pamlico.
Yeah, Pamlico will be good. Yeah.
How come?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, anyway,
We can't
Pamlico.
nobody hear him. That's how we like it.
We might have a 2-seater over there on the side there, Terry. That's
Check
what it
that
might
one.
end up being. Oh yeah, I
There we
heard that.
go.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, leave that helmet on. You know you like it.
Yeah, I got it.
There it
Okay,
is.
There we are.
All right.
I'll take Pamlico for that one, for the Rosewood and Pamlico.
All right.
Now,
then.
Robbinsville Murphy, that's a conference game, right? That's an old. Is that
That's
they're the
another
same?
conference game. They played
conference
back
game.
on September the 21st, and Murphy defeated them 27-14
I'm gonna
at
take
Robbinsville.
I'm gonna take Robbinsville because what they did to Thomas Jefferson last week. I mean, they just I don't want to say discombobulated them.
They just didn't really have a problem with them.
Yeah, they didn't, and especially down at Thomas Jefferson. So yeah, I'm gonna take Robbinsville there.
I'll say something else about these two. You know, as we come in every year and you look deep, and that's one of the reasons I took Robbinsville last week to win. You come in since 1972. Now this is Murphy. Let's go Murphy first. They got 399 wins, so Gentry's 1 win away from hitting 400 since 1972. 399, 171 and 1. Robbinsville comes in 371, 186 and 1. These are teams that win every year and go deep in the playoffs every year. And you know, when you see that, I mean, a lot of times, and I don't know how would you say that even, but the coaching and the leadership that comes with that out front, and I don't know how many of these assistant coaches have been with, say, Coach Gentry or, you know, any other coach that goes this deep. Yeah. But if they keep the same guys, I mean, hey, that's a credit to their program.
Well, they
totally.
get the same – when you have the same coaching staff in there, the kids growing up know exactly what to expect by the time they get there. You know, there's not going to be any horsing around. There's probably discipline. You can tell it's a disciplined program, both of them, especially Murphy. Murphy's been good forever. Yeah. You know, But if they've got a good system in place, it's hard to beat. It's hard to beat a system. You know, it's like a South Point. It's hard to beat a system that is just ingrained in these kids. So, yeah.
All right, so we're going to take our first commercial break. We're going to come back, talk about East Surrey Starmount, Southwest Onslow Northeastern, and Brevard Reedsville. We will be right back on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show only on KC Broadcasting.
Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby would like to remind you that open enrollment for the health insurance marketplace runs now through December the 15th. If you or anyone you know needs help with health insurance coverage options or enrolling into a plan, please ask for an appointment with Justin Witherspoon at Witherspoon Insurance Agency. Just call 704-480-9595 or visit their office located at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, or email Justin at justinwitherspoon@gmail.com. Is flooring in your refurbishing or building plans? Then see John Strickland at Bowling Springs Carpet and Tile, your full-service flooring center. John has quality brands such as Armstrong, Congolium, Mannington, and more. There's carpet by Mohawk, Shaw, Coronet, Galaxy, and many more. And you'll find hardwoods by Bruce and Hardco. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 9 to 1 on Saturday. Call 704-434-9019 or come by Bowling Springs Carpet and Tile, 137 North Main Street in Bowling Springs. Our prices will floor you.
Country Gold with Terry Clark. I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me this week for Country Gold, where we play all your favorites from the 80s and 90s.
Country Gold with Terry Clark, Wednesday afternoons at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at kdcbroadcasting.com.
It's time now for the news. A new radio show is taking the nation by storm. It's called This is the 60s, with the best music from the best decade. And, well, thank you. Who are you?
Well, I'm J.J. Wilson, and I'm the host of This is the 60s.
This is the 60s, with the best music from the best decade. News headlines, pop culture corner, and more.
But I was going to say all that.
Get out of my news booth.
Certainly.
This is the 60s, Friday mornings from 10 a.m. till 12 noon on The Boss, WOHS, AM and FM in Shelby, WLON in Lincolnton. Come see the all-new Professional Pharmacy, now in the new location at 128 North Main Street in Bowling Springs. Come shop their newer and larger pharmacy showroom and use their convenient drive-through window. And as always, you'll receive friendly hometown service. Since 1998, Professional Pharmacy in Bowling Springs has been providing you with efficient and fast service to meet all of your medication needs. Make the all-new Professional Pharmacy your pharmacy. Now in the new location at 128 North Main Street in Bowling Springs. And be sure to like them on Facebook too. Call 704-434-9897 today.
From Shelby, turn off Highway 74 at Highway 226, up Highway 226 to the caution light at Zion Church Road. There on the corner is Kibo's. Been there for over 20 years. Kibo's, where you'll find Hunt Brothers Pizza, snacks, candy, chips, also soft drinks, hand-dipped and packaged ice cream, bread, tobacco products, and much more. Yes, that's Kibo's. And don't forget to fill that vehicle up with gasoline at Kibo's, 226 North at the caution light in Shelby. Traveling for a ball game? The Hampton Inn in Gastonia has more for your travels. Book the Ultimate Escape Package and enjoy $10 in snack shop credit, hot breakfast, premium Wi-Fi, and late checkout. At the Gastonia Hampton Inn, you can enjoy cable programming and video game consoles are also provided, plus a pool, a fitness center, dry cleaning service, and more. With 107 air-conditioned guest rooms, the Hampton Inn, 1859 Remount Road in Gastonia. Book your room by calling 704-866-9090. Offices open 24 hours a day.
You hear them clicks going. 704 beats by Alex J. Yeah. First and 10. We in the trenches. You like the water cooler. You be on the
Shannon Allen and Terry Reinhardt. I started on my Max Grill. I don't know what these two people are doing, but I've got grilled chicken. My fries are almost gone. Terry, you got a Philly in there, I think?
That's what they said.
That's what they said, and I peeked at it. I'm not going to lie. Shannon, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Terry. It's all there. Shannon, what'd you get tonight?
You got a hamburger steak.
He got food.
Yeah.
Well,
he got food.
My nerves are tore from the snow driver.
That's what it is. No, yeah, you gotta, yeah.
Yeah, barely.
Okay, I know Calvin's already told us that we could stay all night.
Yeah, even back then.
Did see there?
Just in case.
Hey, got every eye.
You gotta be able to, you gotta be able to throw it in neutral and roll. Worst comes to worst. All right, let's get back into some football, and we'll start in the 1AA West with Starmount and East Surrey. Obviously, we talked about it a little bit ago, Terry. Starmount finally back over 500 at 7-6. They'll be taking on a stout East Surrey team. Comes into this one at 10-3, 4-1 in the conference. Trent Lohman, the coach out of Bandy's, and Terry, who you have in this one?
Well, you again, here you are looking deep into the playoffs again. Starmount, one of them teams that makes it every year since 1972. 384 wins, 171 losses, and 2 ties. But they out of the Mountain Valley 1A, 2A. They finished second behind Ashe County. East Surrey comes in. They finished second in the Northwest 1A conference behind Mount Airy. But, they've already got Mount Airy back. This is a big game to me for Coach Trent Lohman. You're coming against a team. This is a Starmount team that started 0-4. So if you take that away, they're 7-2 over their last 9 games. But can East Surrey pull a victory here? And I want East Surrey to win, but I'm going tradition, and I'm going to go Starmount to pull another win tonight. Ooh. This is going to be close, 27-26. Starmount beats East Surrey.
Wow. Okay. Well, East Surrey last week, I remember Coach Pruitt called and said that Mount Airy's
They were missing a couple.
They were missing a couple. It makes me got beat 40. They won 40.
That's what I'm saying.
They missed the whole starting lineup.
How many people do you miss to where you go from what should be a competitive game to 40?
I mean, that wasn't even close. So East Surrey it's hard to judge by that game, but I know Starmount. You said they're 7-6 now. Is that right? 7-6. They're playing at Starmount. That's a tough place to play, but. I'm picking East Surrey just for the fact that they're rolling, and Starmount. Yeah, they've gotten lucky in the playoffs, and I know you take that for whatever you want. But I mean, they beat Polk County last week, is that right? So, and Polk County, really wasn't supposed to be there in the third round. So, I'm taking East Surrey. Terry, I disagree with you. I don't think it's going to be close. I think once East Surrey gets a lead. I think Starmount will start to fall back. They'll start doing things out of character, maybe. So I'm gonna say like a 35-14 type of game that East Surrey will win.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think it's fair that East Surrey, number 4 seed, 10-3, going to a 7-6 seed Starmount?
Well, I mean I mean you could say a lot about that, but it's just the way it fell. I mean it's like a West Lincoln.
Oh, I
we can go back to West Lincoln. What they were 13th seed, and what was their
9-2.
record? 9-2.
Best season ever, pretty much.
West Lincoln and East Rutherford. They were just in a very powerful, top-heavy conference. And Starmount. I know Ashe County. They're out now because Shelby beat them, last week, or a couple weeks ago. But I don't buy into that. I still, you're gonna have to play them wherever. Play them out in your yard somewhere. Wherever they're gonna play, they're gonna play. And I used to, when I was younger, I used to thought that meant everything, but this league, the playoffs, I don't think it means any. I don't think it means as much.
Bust out the Hoosier speech, bring out the tape measure. It's all the same dimension. All right, now let's jump up into the 2A East. We'll start with the 1-6 matchup, the 6th seed at 12-2 Southwest Onslow. They were 7-0 in their conference, taking on undefeated 13-0 and 5-0 in Conference Northeastern. Shannon, who do you have in this one? Obviously, I mean, this is a matchup where you've got, two combined losses, one team undefeated, so it should be good.
Yeah, it'll be a great game. I've seen Southwest Onslow play when they had Kendrick Burney back in the day. Is that his name, Kendrick Burney? We played Shelby at Duke. Big fan of Southwest Onslow, and I have been since then because I think they do things the right way. They got a lot of good kids down there from good character type families. Being there at the Marine base. So I'm going to say Southwest Onslow will go to Northeastern, wherever Northeastern is. I don't even know what county that's in up there, but or down there. But I think it's going to be I'm going to say probably 31-14 game, Southwest Onslow.
Okay. On the other end of this year, when I heard about Northeastern and I talked to people from the East, they said Northeastern was the team that's going to win. Whichever they was in the 2A or 2AA, they were going to win it.
Wow.
And they've so far succeeded, 13-0.
Yeah.
They out of the Northeast Coastal 2A, they are the champions, and Southwest Onslow, Eastern Plains 2A champions. And I'm going to say they're playing at home, and I'm going to say Northeastern's going to win this game and win it pretty easily. So one of us are going to be wrong. Northeastern 42, Southwest Onslow 14.
Ooh, okay.
All right, we'll move to the western side of the bracket with the 2 seed Reedsville hosting the 8 seed Brevard. If I can say that right, there we go. 11-3 Brevard is overall, but only 3-2 in that conference. Reedsville comes into this one undefeated, 14-0, 4-0 in conference. Terry, who you have in this one?
Well, here comes Brevard. It's been 36 years since Brevard's won a state title. That's back in 1982. They beat Birdie 15-7 to win the 3A state championship. Reedsville comes in. They've been to 2 straight, trying to make it 3 straight. They're 1-1. They won in 2016 and lost last year against Wallace Rose Hill, 35-28 in overtime. Reedsville comes in, though, to me, every time I see them, it's like them playing Shelby. When you had that matchup, it was always power against power. The best defenses against the best defense, offense against offense. Reedsville comes in with sophomore quarterback Kyle Penix, 1,787 yards passing, 33 touchdowns. The biggest thing for me out of that is he only had 4 interceptions, so he's on the money. And then they got a running back, Trevane Kennedy, 1,338 yards, and he's got 21 touchdowns of himself. Last week, they beat Mountain Heritage through the air. Mount Heritage stopped them on the ground. And Reidsville said, okay, our quarterback, Penix, sophomore, do it some other way. And he did. So they come out on top 21-14. I think it's tough to beat Reidsville now. And I'm going to take Reidsville to win this game here. I'm going to say 31-7.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let me say last week's score, Reidsville Mountain, I thought it would be a little larger than that, or bigger deficit, or span, whatever it's called. But anyway, I thought it'd be worse than 21-14. So that tells me something about, can the mountain teams come down here and play? Yeah, I think, they can play. And whenever you think about the 2A playoffs, especially beginning, or especially, let's say at the end of the conference season, when they start to pick them, the biggest question is not about Shelby or South Point, is where's Reidsville going to go?
Yeah.
A lot of people want to know where, are they going to be in the West or are they going to be in the East, because that's going to be the juggernaut.
It's going to change a lot of matchups.
It does. So that's Reidsville's always going to be there. They always have been there. Great program tradition. As far as Brevard goes, it makes me wonder now, okay, is it a fluke that Brevard finished second in that conference? Is Brevard, I look at Brevard being a team that could probably match up better with Reidsville than a Mountain Heritage. I don't know why, but I mean, I've seen them play before, but I'm going to pick, I'm going to pick Reidsville, but I'm going to say it's going to be a 28-21 type game. I think it'll be close, because I think they'll look at the Mountain Heritage game, and I think they'll have the athletes be able to stop the passes, because Mountain Heritage did something right there. And so I think they'll look at that game and they'll learn from it. But Reidsville, again, it goes along with what a lot of the other teams here. You can stop one, but do you have the manpower to stop? You can stop the pass, but can you stop the rush? Can you stop them both?
Yeah.
And I don't think Brevard will, but it'll be a close game.
All right. 21 points. Reidsville
28-21.
Yeah, had a lot of shutouts in their past this year.
Well, their schedule. Now, I will say this: their conference schedule is weak.
It's weak.
It is
Very
weak. But
agree.
now that doesn't matter now. But a lot of those scores can be misleading.
All right, we'll get one more game in before our next commercial break. It'll be the 3AA East. It'll be the number 4 seed Cleveland traveling to the number 2 seed Southeast Guilford. Cleveland comes into this one at 12-2, undefeated 5-0 in conference play. Southeast Guilford at 13-1, 6-0 undefeated in conference play. Terry, who are you picking in this one?
Well, a few years back, I never have heard of Cleveland. I mean, new school that opened up. Yeah. And all of a sudden, they started playing well, and all of a sudden I started seeing them because they were unbeaten for a while. And I can't remember whether it was like in 2011 or 12 or somewhere in there, but they were pretty good. And here they are back going to go against Southeast Guilford. It's hard for me to go against a Guilford County schools.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm sorry. They're usually pretty stout, and whichever one you're going against, whether it's Northern or Southeast or whoever. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Southeast Guilford to win this one. I think it's going to be close, though. Southeast Guilford 28, Cleveland 24.
Yeah, I agree with you. When you think about Guilford, even Forsyth counties, those two counties there, it's hard to pick against those. But, yeah, I think Southeast Guilford will win this one. I'm going to say, I'll go with your score, 28-14. I think it'll be close, but because they're supposed to be this time of year. But I think Southeast Guilford will have too much for them.
All right. When we come back, we'll have Weddington, Mount Tabor, Scotland County 71st, and Porter Ridge, East Forsyth. We'll be right back on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show, only on KTC Broadcasting.
Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby would like to remind you that open enrollment for the health insurance marketplace runs now through December the 15th. If you or anyone you know needs help with health insurance coverage options or enrolling into a plan, please ask for an appointment with Justin Witherspoon at Witherspoon Insurance Agency. Just call 704-480-9595 or visit their office located at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, or email Justin at justinwitherspoon@gmail.com. Register to win $1,000 in Christmas cash. It will be given away Monday, December 24th at 8 a.m. on The Boss in Carolina Country. Register today with no obligation to buy at Ferguson's Ace Hardware, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, at Miss Janice's Daycare on the Hepzibah Church Road in Krause, at Dallas Express Pharmacy on Hoffman Street in Dallas, at Majestic Nails, Highway 16 in Denver, at Wright's Jewelry Store on Highway 18 North in Falston, at Amity Finance on East Ozark Avenue in Gastonia, at Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain, at Abernathy Chrysler Jeep Dodge on East Main Street in Lincolnton, at Hometown Hardware in downtown Kings Mountain, at Full Throttle Power Sports on Indian Walk in Lowell, at Affinity Salon on West Warren Street in Shelby, at Mitchum's Kitchen on Highway 27 West in Vale, and at Drums Floral Designs on North Academy Street in Lincolnton. Register and win the $1,000 Christmas cash giveaway today. The most popular flooring sold today is the new LVT waterproof flooring, and it's now on sale at Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain and Carpet One Interiors on East Ozark Avenue in Gastonia. Now you can buy the new LVT waterproof flooring for only $2.99 a square foot. That's right, only $2.99 a square foot. And they do free estimates with installation available. See Flooring America on Slater Street in Kings Mountain or Carpet One Interiors on East Ozark Avenue in Gastonia for your new LVT waterproof flooring.
Here's what's up in Gaston, Cleveland, and Lincoln counties. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country WCSL, and the Boss WOHS and WLON. First Baptist Church of Kings Mountain announces upward basketball registration has begun for grades 1 through 6 for boys and grades 1 through 8 for girls. For more information, call 704-739-3651. Hospice Cleveland County presents the Holiday Prize Extravaganza. Win a 14-karat diamond watch valued at over $4,000. Drawing on December 14th. Call 704-497-4677 for details. And that's What's Up. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper. Carolina Country WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM. The Boss 1390 AM and 101.5 FM. And WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM. For more information, go to whatsupshopper.com.
Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, in cooperation with the local Salvation Army of Shelby, wants to help make this Christmas a little brighter for children in our area. Now through December 22nd, we're asking you to drop off an unwrapped toy and put it in the bed of the GMC Sierra truck in the Renato Auto Mall showroom. The toys will be distributed to underprivileged children in our area. Plus, if you'd like to make a donation, a Salvation Army kettle will be available as well. Drop your unwrapped toy off today at Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right below the Cleveland Mall. And buy a vehicle at Renato Auto Mall from now through December 22nd and receive a free smoked ham from Morris Supermarket in Shelby.
Here's a trivia question for you. What insect in the whole world is responsible for 1 million human deaths a year worldwide? Believe it or not, it's the mosquito. That's right, the tiny mosquito. Be ready this year for the mosquito invasion with a call to H&H Termite and Pest Control of Shelby. And what about termites? Did you know they do more damage to homes than fires, tornadoes, hurricanes, and floods combined? It might be time to make that call right now. H&H Termite and Pest Control. Call 704-482-2847. 704-482-2847. Make that call today.
For over 36 years, American Safety Utility Corporation has been providing safety equipment and tools for electric utility workers, contractors, and the do-it-yourselfer. They are a proud, locally owned Shelby company located at 529 Caleb Road in Shelby. There are 3 easy ways to order. Just drop by the sales counter Monday through Friday from 8 till 5. You can call them at 1-800-438-6013, or you can visit them online at americansafety.com. American Safety Utility Corporation, 529 Caleb Road in Shelby. 605 WHS Shelby, WLON Lincolnton, WCSL Cherryville, Gastonia.
704 beats by Alex J. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Carson Dockery, Shannon Allen, and Terry Reinhardt. In here, just making a mockery of the way I eat food.
Oh, it's just asking. I mean,
God,
you know,
just because I cut the fat off of some chicken, like I don't get it.
Well, I mean,
what?
It's the first time I've seen somebody do that.
You took it personal,
like,
Terry.
Well, I did not take it personal. I was like, that's good meat you throwing away there.
Yeah, and you know who's going to enjoy it later? My dog.
There you go.
He'll appreciate
Poor old
it.
Dog, get the fat meat.
He could use it.
Wow.
Listen, he's like 3, but I still consider him a puppy. He's still a growing dog, so I'm like, here, eat some meat, kid. You need it. All right, so where were we? Weddington, Mount Tabor. Weddington coming off of a big, I'll be honest, a big upset over Watauga, 42-14. Watauga hadn't even, what was the closest game they had played to that point, Terry? It was 19 points, and then they get beat by 28. Weddington, obviously no slouch out of basically South Charlotte, Union County. Mount Tabor, though, they're nothing to shake a stick at either. Coming into this one at 10-4. but undefeated 6-0 in conference play. Shannon, who you got in this one?
I'm going to take Mount Tabor in this. I'm just not a big believer in Weddington for whatever reason, and it has to go back with when I saw them, not this year, but last year when they played at Crest.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody said this is the number 3 team. I think they were the number 3 team in 3A at that time, and I know it was early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if that's the number 3 team, then 3A is as weak as it's ever been, because I just was not impressed with their offense. Granted, I know it was like the second game of the year, but apparently, if you go up to Watauga and can win the way they did, they've figured something out. So, but Mount Tabor, I think, is a whole different animal than Watauga. I think they're going to have more speed. I think they'll have more power. They may not be as physical up front, but I think Mount Tabor will take care of business. I'm going to say 35-21 Mount Tabor, just for the fact that I think they'll have more speed and be able to get it to the edges, and Weddington will not be able to combat that.
Yeah, Mount Tabor comes in here, the Piedmont Triad 3A champions. Weddington comes in here. They finished second in the Southern Carolina 3A conference, but they finished second behind Charlotte Catholic. Yeah. And when I look at that, I know Weddington has made trips over here, and we've made trips to there. And to me, they match up very well with Cleveland County. Yeah. Every time they play a team from Cleveland County, it's a good game. It comes down to the end. And when I look at that, I'm going to give Weddington an edge tonight.
Now, they play them early now. Got to remember that.
I know that. But I think Weddington's going to go to Mount Tabor, and they're going to win tonight, just like they went up to Watauga. I think this is going to be closer than what that game was, but I'm going to take Weddington to win 31-21 tonight.
All right, that'll take us into the 4A, and we'll start on the eastern side as we have the 10-seed Scotland. Well, now Scotland's got something to say to Richmond County, because, I mean, like we talked about, that's one of the biggest rivalries. Scotland makes it deeper into the playoffs, even though they're, as you mentioned, Terry, they're the lowest seed left. They're a 10 seed in the 4A East, and they are 8-5. They were 4-3 in conference play. And Terry, looking at the stats, the thing that stands out to me, they have the lowest or the smallest point differential at 5. They've scored 280 points, given up 275. So what do you make out of this game?
Well, when you speak of Scotland County, you might be talking about the best conference in the state of North Carolina. Because Scotland County finished 4th in the Sandhills 4A conference. They finished behind Richmond, they finished behind 71st, and they finished behind Pinecrest. So as we come into this, they are having to make this trip over there, and I'm going to tell you, Sandhill, like I said, 71st finished 2nd behind Richmond in this conference. What do I look for here? I'm going to tell you what, most of the time 71st makes it a long way. Scotland County makes it a long way in the East when you get to this bracket. So both of these teams, to me, I think have been there. They've done this. They understand it. And I'm going to say tonight 71st going to come out on top. A close game, 24-21 over Scotland County.
Yeah, both of these teams finished second in their conference. And so with 71st, I just, it being in Fayetteville, I know it's going to be a short trip for Scotland, but I just think they're built better. Again, I think they're going to have more speed than Scotland. I think that's a huge advantage. And if you can't stop that, and plus you saying they've given up 270-plus points defensively, Scotland, that says a lot to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, you got to outscore everybody, and that load's going to have to run out. And I think it runs out tonight. 71st wins. I'm going to say 42-14.
All right, move from the 4A East to the 4A West. We got a good one up in East Forsyth as the East Forsyth Eagles are 13-0, 5-0 in conference. They'll be taking on another perennial powerhouse, the Porter Ridge Pirates. They come into this one at 10-4, 5-2 out of Indian Trail. Shannon, who do you have in this one?
Porter Ridge is it's just one of those teams. You think of Union County, automatically you think Monroe, Weddington, but I don't even know if they played Weddington this year or even Catholic this year coming out of East Charlotte. So I'm going to say, again, what we talked about a while ago, Terry, Guilford County, Forsyth County. It's hard to beat these guys at home. And I think Forsyth is rolling, East Forsyth is rolling, and I'm going to say they're going to win 35-21 over Porter Ridge.
And I'm also going to go with you, East Forsyth, the Central Piedmont 4A champions. Porter Ridge finished 3rd in the Southwestern 4A conference behind Butler and Myers Park. Myers Park is still playing in this tournament, but I'm going to say East Forsyth's going to have too much for them, and I'm about on the same level you are, 41-17.
They finished 3rd?
They did.
How are they number 6 seed if they finished third?
They did. They was a finished third in the Southwestern 4A conference.
Wow. Okay.
All right, we'll turn to the.
That's when you really wonder about your brackets.
Well, West Lincoln finished. That's what we was talking about. They finished third.
That's what I'm saying. Another case, another whole 14 hours to talk about
That's
it.
Conspiracy.
Oh man, we should just sit Terry down in a dark room and just let him talk about max preps for hours on end. I'd listen to it.
I don't want to talk about them. I want somebody on the other end to answer my questions.
That would be hilarious.
That's another thing.
Talk about in California, they won't be able to understand you.
Yeah.
That's what it would be.
I can't understand that Carolina language.
All right, let's go to the Big 4A, the 4AA, and we'll start in the East as the number 6 seeded Pinecrest Patriots at 11-3, 5-2 in conference will travel to not too far up the road into Wake Forest, North Carolina, to take on the Wake Forest Cougars. They're 12-0, 5-0 in conference. Terry, who you got in this one?
Well, I'm glad you made the trip over here to Wake Forest because this is not going to take long. Wake Forest, the Northern Athletic 4A champions, going against Pinecrest, who finished third behind Richmond and 71st. Hey, they finished ahead of Scotland County. Scotland County's still playing in this tournament, but this is not even going to be close. Wake Forest is loaded.
Yeah.
And they have been for a while. 42, 43 straight games they've won now. But on this one, I'm going to just wax it on out of here. Wake Forest 51, Pinecrest 14.
There's a kid that plays at Wake Forest. His name is Jadicus, but I was trying to think of his last name. He's from Rutherford County, and his parents moved up there when he was in ninth grade, or excuse me, in 10th grade. I think is when it was. But he played he was in the Tri-County Conference that the local middle schools play in when RS won that league, I think. But he played for RS Central then. But anyway, he went to East Rutherford and transferred, and he's a monster. And he started there his sophomore year. Wake Forest, Terry, I agree with you. Wake Forest this is your old Independence. This is your Independence of new. Let's put it that way. This is when I think of in Wake Forest. I think of them like an Independence. They're just going to be tough to beat, especially at home. And I will say 56-7. They will blow. Like I said, that game's over. That game's over right now.
And I guarantee a lot of people out there listen to this and say, if they get beat,
I don't think they'll get beat.
I don't think they're going to get
There's no
beat.
way they're going to get beat.
All right. Turn over to the 4AA West. We got a good one over there in Charlotte tonight as number 6 seeded, 13-1, 6-1 in conference, Myers Park Mustangs take on the 13-1, 6-1, 5 seeded Vance Cougars. Obviously, I mean, you can list off the names of all the fathers of Myers Park kids, but obviously Vance is seated higher than them. They're pretty familiar. They'll have a lot of like opponents. Terry, who you picking in this one?
Well, this is a game again. Vance, the IMEC 4A champions, they finished second behind who? Mallard Creek. Myers Park, out of the Southwestern 4A champions. Southwestern 4A finished second behind Butler. 2 perennial powers out of Charlotte down there, and what a difference. Myers Park against Vance. But, it's kind of hard for me to go against them 7 or 8 guys who play in the NFL and their sons are playing over there to think that, they cannot make a difference in this game. I think Vance will give them all they want, but I'm going to take Myers Park to win, and this is going to be one of them shootout games. Myers Park 32, Vance 28.
You think those former NFL players said, hey, where are you sending your kid to high school?
Yeah.
And they all got together and said, it could happen.
Yeah.
That could easily happen in Charlotte. Money talks probably. But, Myers Park, I'm so glad we don't have a Mallard Creek or Butler. It's like when
somebody knew.
Yeah, somebody knew. And these two these two teams are neighbors basically. Yeah. And the kids probably know each other, and this is going to be one of the better games tonight, just for the fact that it's going to be like a rival game. And it's but I like Myers Park for the what you said, Terry. I agree with that 100%. But Myers Park, they just seem to beat Mallard Creek. Is that right?
Yeah.
Or did they beat Butler? They beat one of them.
Butler,
right? Okay, beat Butler. So I just think that's. And I know Vance has beaten too, but I think I think Myers Park is just. I just think they're just going to win tonight, and I agree with you. It's going to be like a 35-28 type game. It's going to be close. It'll be a shootout, but tensions will be high, and it'll be I'd hate to be a referee at that game.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, since Queens doesn't have a football team, I'm sure they've adopted Myers Park as their own football team. Yeah. All right, that'll take us to our next commercial break. We'll be back with North Davidson, Ledford, Shelby, High Brighton, Jacksonville, Havelock, and wrap things up with Kings Mountain Charlotte Catholic. We'll be right back on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show, only on KTC Broadcasting.
A winter storm headed this way. We still have some time to prepare. Tonight it's quiet, mostly cloudy, temperatures in the low 30s. Cloudy skies Saturday with rain rolling in late in the day, highs in the low 40s. It's Saturday night when snow and sleet becomes likely, 1 to 2 inches possible with lows near 30. And then Sunday we'll have snow, possibly some freezing rain and sleet. Anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of additional snowfall will be possible. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Currently from the KTC Broadcasting Studios, it's 6:17, and the temperature is 45 degrees.
Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby would like to remind you that open enrollment for the health insurance marketplace runs now through December the 15th. If you or anyone you know needs help with health insurance coverage options or enrolling into a plan, please ask for an appointment with Justin Witherspoon at Witherspoon Insurance Agency. Just call 704-480-9595 or visit their office located at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, or email Justin at justinwitherspoon@gmail.com.
It's game day. The energy pulsates through the arena. Adrenaline pumps. Tension heightens. Anticipation peaks. The crowd rises. It's finally time. The whistle blows and the ball goes up. Don't blink.
Pulls up for the tie. Yes, sir. 4.1 to go.
Game day lives here on the Tar Heel Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Hi, I'm Diane Ledbetter with Remax Foothills Living, and it's possible I helped you buy or sell your home in the last 34 years. We are located at 2015 East Marion Street in Shelby near the Cleveland Mall. We are here to help you with all of your real estate needs. Call me or one of my agents, Dee Dee Dedman, Doug Dixon, Aaron Roberts, Rebecca Rice. We are ready to assist you with buying or selling your next home. You can reach us at 704-481-7523 or www.foothillslivingnc.com.
Sleds, and more sleds. They've got sleds at Shelby Hardware. Flexible flyers, plastic disc sleds, snowboards, and more. Plus great gift ideas like case knives, Christmas, college, and NFL flags, doormats, lodge cookware, caribou and orca coolers, and tumblers. And Shelby Hardware has pellet and lump charcoal grills by Primo and Louisiana Grill. And treat yourself to a bowl of homemade ice cream with a White Mountain ice cream freezer. So slide on in to Shelby Hardware, 506 South Lafayette Street in Shelby. For over 100 years, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home in Falston has been providing services to families of our community with care and compassion. And now the Stamey Funeral Home has added the Cremation Center along with a new name, the Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center. The Stamey Tysinger Funeral Home and Cremation Center on Highway 182 in Falston, and the Stamey Funeral Home in Cherryville, located on Dixie Street in Cherryville, serving you with care and compassion in your time of need. If you're one of the many elderly residents of Cleveland County, the Transportation Administration of Cleveland County and Cleveland County Transit is here for you, transporting the elderly and disabled residents of Cleveland County with safe, dependable transportation with professional drivers. All vans are ADA compliant with wheelchair lifts. Cleveland County Transit offers a big city-style bus service in a small van with 34 stops in Shelby. For more information, call Cleveland County Transit at 704-482-6465 for more information.
Welcome back once again to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. Carson Dockery, Terry Reinhardt, Shannon Allen. We are all the way up to, we've gone through all the classifications except the two that contain teams in our local area. We're going to start with the 2AA, and we'll start on the eastern side of the state with a 3-1 matchup between the number 3 seeded 12-2, 8-1 in conference North Davidson Black Knights out of Lexington. They'll be taking on the Ledford Senior Panthers, 13-1, 9-0 out of Thomasville. And Shannon, I'll start with you. Who are you picking in this one?
I'm gonna pick North Davidson in this one, and it's for the simple reason that you say they're from Lexington, Salisbury area. That's Rowan County, right?
Roco, yeah.
And so that, to me, that says, because Rowan County's got a lot of good athletes in that area. And Ledford, I go back to the speed factor. That's going to be the key. And I think, coming out of that area, they're just going to be better. They're just going to have they're better at the edges. They'll be better in the backfield and especially in the back of the secondary. If they'll be able to counter whatever Ledford does. So I'm going to say North Davison. I'm going to say 28-17.
You know, when I looked at this, and both of these teams come out of the Central Carolina. Ledford was your champion.
Yeah.
North Davison finished second.
Who won the first meeting?
They played one time November the 2nd. Ledford won 9-7.
Wow.
At North Davison.
Wow.
You know, and I'm going to say from back when I coached basketball and me and Coach Sane had to play Ledford in the playoffs and all. Ledford, to me, they're always physical, very aggressive. I mean, you talking about picking up fouls. I don't care. They look at you like I got 5. So I'm all over you. You're not going to breathe. We're taking everything away from you. That's in basketball. And I can imagine how the football team is, you know. But I think this is going to be one of them, again, very tight games. It comes down to the very end. You're playing at Ledford this time, and I think it's going to give Ledford another touchdown to win this game since they're playing at home. And I'm going to take Ledford to win this one, but I'm going to say 17-10. Ledford beats North Davison.
I know what. Let me jump in here. We're talking about the history. Shelby played Ledford, and I think it was back in the 90s. They played them in the playoffs, and we went up there, and it was the pregame, and so we're sitting on the car waiting, you know, to go in and stuff, and we're eating. I think we took our food with us, and we're eating there in the car. They were playing like Conway Twitty, Johnny Cash, Merle Haggard. I remember that, and I'm like, that's just odd to play before a football game, you know, and so it's
like going to West Lincoln.
Yeah.
You're not wrong,
that was just odd. I'll never forget, and I don't know why I remember that. I guess because you think when you go to a football game, it's the music pumps everybody up. The kids are fired up, you know. I mean, they're jamming away, you know, tight-fitting jeans with Conway Twitty and Johnny Cash, you know, Folsom County, Prison Blues, whatever. I mean, they were really playing stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, wow. But anyway.
Hey, that pumps West Lincoln. You come to West Lincoln, they start playing up. That's what we like.
Yeah. And that's fine. I mean, I don't have anything against that. Yeah.
No. All right, now let's turn to the one of a little bit more local interest, the 2AA West Final between the number 4 seed Shelby Golden Lions and the number 2 seed High Brighton Panthers. High Brighton coming into this one 14-0 this year, 6-0 in conference. Terry, what's the win streak at this point for them?
For High Brighton,
29 in a row. Shelby comes into this one 11-3, a 5-0 unblemished conference record in the Southwestern 2A. Terry, I'll start with you. Who do you got?
This is, and we spoke of this when we first come in, and if they High Brighton people listening, I'm sorry, but Shelby to me is a team that if you get them one year, they remember it. It's not something that goes away. And I know Coach Ware and them last year when they went up there and Witherspoon and them gave them a great defense and stopped everything Shelby did. You know, and when I look at this game, and Shannon, you might think different, but I think this whole game is prepared around Bess. Bess cannot go into this game 17 out of 36 like he was against North Lincoln. I think he's got to open it up. Them guys on his outside, when they go 5 wide, got to make the catches, got to move the ball down. To me, tonight's win, High Brighton streak of giving up less than 20 comes to an end.
It has to, I think, for Shelby to have a chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I still think it's going to be close because you're playing High Brighton. High Brighton's 27-7 at home. And these two teams have played twice. Shelby beat them in 1997, 49-14, but High Brighton won last year 19-7. And when I look at the coaching-wise, Lance Ware, and the tremendous coach, no matter what happens, I think he always prepares his team well. For the last 6 years, Coach Ware is 80-13 overall. You know, and 4 state championships, runner-up in the Western Division last year. But going on the road here, I think this is something Shelby's going to want more than High Brighton's going to have to take.
Yeah.
To me, High Brighton, if they get out early, I think you're going to see one heck of a game. If Shelby scores early, it's not going to be like Shelby beating North Lincoln like they did. I think Shelby might win by 2 touchdowns. But if High Brighton scores early, I think it's going to be close. It's going to come down to the 4th quarter. But if I have to take a score, I'm going to take Shelby to win playoff game number 125 tonight. And I'm going to take Shelby 27, High Brighton 21.
Okay. So I do the devotions for them on Friday mornings, and I've been doing it all year. And you can tell when I go in there how loose the team is, and if they're ready to play. This morning, I'm not just saying this because it's a game. This morning it was totally different. It was just a totally different feel in the room. I think the kids are ready. I know they're ready. And I mentioned this to them last year when Shelby went into this game. Shelby was on that strive for 5. Everybody was talking about state championship, and that's all you heard about. You heard about Dax. You heard about this great defense. And I think Shelby went there a little cocky. And High Brighton was hungry. And High Brighton, they won the game. I think the role, you just said it a while ago, the roles are reversed this year. High Brighton's probably coming in cocky. We've got the same team we had last year, basically. Yeah. And we beat this team last year, and we're going to do it again. Where Shelby comes in, have been through adversity, now they're hungry. Mm-hmm. And Terry, I agree with you about Best, but I think the key is going to be Danye Fuller, their running back, and that offensive line. If Fuller can run the ball, it's going to open up the passing. But I think that's going to be the key. He's not going to have to break a 40-yard run, a 90-yard run, whatever. If he can get 5, 6, 7 yards a clip, 5 yards a clip, that's going to open up those passing lanes, and that's going to help Best. That's going to allow him to be able to find the open receivers. High Brighton's going to be as quick as they are, as Shelby is. But Shelby, going back to last year, they went into that game limping. They had one wheel. Quarterback was hurt. Yeah. They were injured. This year they're healthy, and this year they're better offensively than they were last year. And we saw the score 19-7 last year. That was a close ball game. It really, a block punt.
They didn't put it away till late. Yeah,
they did. I mean, you had a block punt by Dax, and then High Brighton, Shelby scored, but they called a chop block.
Yep.
And that just opened the game up for High Brighton. They got the break. So I agree it's going to be a close game, but I think if Shelby can jump ahead early, but Shelby's known to come back. They know how to. Like I said, they've been through the adversity. High Brighton hadn't been through that this year. Mm-hmm. If Shelby can jump on them early and let them know, hey, we're here to play. We're not coming to play around. We're here to play. I'm going to say it's going to be. I agree with you. I'm going to say 28, but I'm going to say 14 type game. I think Shelby can beat them, and it's going to be again Danye Fuller. I think is going to be the key to this game.
When you're talking about coming in and just their 2 running backs from High Brighton, Witherspoon comes in with 1861 yards on the ground, 39 touchdowns. Yeah. But they got the other kid, the Jones kid back there, and he's got 1287 with 20 touchdowns himself. So they can come at you at 2 sides. If one's not doing it, they give it to the other one. And, we've seen Shelby before in past games. If that's what you're going to do against us, we're going to stop that, and we're going to make you beat us through the air. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, because this is basically South Point's offense. Because Mickey Lomberger took his offense up there to them. And, Shelby's really good against the run. I mean, they're going to give up yardage, but they're really good at stopping that triple option. Yep. For some reason, they can stop that when they bear down on it and stop it. So you're going to have to make High Brighton do something they're not accustomed to doing. And I think that's going to be a key to this game.
All right, you'll have Brent Pasco and Jeff Jones on the call for that one. You'll be able to listen to that one on the Shelby Golden Lions YouTube channel as well as on WHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM. And now, guys, let's move to the 3A. We'll start on the eastern side with the 6th seed Jacksonville Cardinals at 10-1, 4-1 in conference play, taking on another perennial powerhouse, the Havelock Rams. They're 13-0 and 5-0 in conference play. Terry, who you have in that one?
Well, you come into this, and everybody knows who Havelock is. We did hear about Jacksonville when they had to play East Lincoln in state championship before, but these 2 teams played on November the 2nd. Havelock beat them 45-27. And when I see that, I'm like, can Jacksonville even stand up? They finished 2nd in the conference behind Havelock. Both of them comes out of this Coastal 3A conference. I think you're going to have basically the same thing here. But I think it's going to be a worse score here. I think Havelock's going to win this one going away. Havelock 52, Jacksonville 14.
I agree with you. When you play a team, November 2nd, last game of the conference season, that has a lot to do with, especially you're playing them this. You're playing this sooner, or a little 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, whatever it is. That's going to be in the minds of those Jacksonville kids, and if Havelock jumps ahead of them, they're going to think, oh, no, here we go again. And I agree with you, Terry. I'm going to say 49-7. But I think Havelock's going to prove, that was no fluke on November 2nd. So, yeah.
All right, we'll wrap things up with the 3A West final. It's the number 3 seed Charlotte Catholic Cougars, 13-1, 7-0 in conference play, fresh off their win over Hunter Huss. They'll take on Kings Mountain Mountaineers at 12-2, 6-1 in conference play. Kings Mountain fresh off a big win over the number 1 seed Northwest Cabarrus. Shannon, who you have in this one?
I'm going to say Kings Mountain because, and I know Catholic, what they did to Huss was, you know, it was a great defeat or a great win for them. But Huss and Kings Mountain are similar, but the thing is, I think Kings Mountain may have a little bit more discipline than Huss. I think, and I love Kings Mountain's quarterback, one of the best around here, if not the best in the state at what he does. Kalen Wade, he's going to get his yardage. It's going to have to be him, Mack, and Pacehour. Where, you know, when Catholic played Huss, you know, I just don't think Huss had that one guy, or they had that one guy they go to and they stopped him, but nobody else stepped up. You know, and I'm not throwing off on Huss or Coach McCoy. I think they had a great year, but maybe a little cocky, maybe, you know, you could say that. But Kings Mountain, again, you've been through the adversity, you've been through the trials, now it's time to play. If you stop Pacehour, can you stop Mack, and can you stop Wade? It all begins with Wade.
Yeah.
If Kalen Wade has a big game, I think Kings Mountain has a legitimate shot of beating Catholic. And Catholic, you know, we looked at this big giant. Carson, did you go to the game last week at Huss?
I stopped by for a little bit, yeah.
I mean, is Catholic big? Are they, I mean, is it, what is it? How are they so, I mean, I saw one play, and it was, and I just, the highlights, this kid from Catholic just ran around the edge, and I'm like, where's the Huss speed?
Yeah.
Where is it? It's like, I don't know if they gave up because there was no blockers. I mean, it's just like they weren't trying to get the guy.
I mean, a lot of it, I think a lot of it is scheme. A lot of it is Charlotte Catholic's just been there before so often. Yeah. I mean, it's something where, I mean, maybe it is. I mean, kids aren't used to playing this deep into the season. Maybe it takes a little bit more of a toll on you. Obviously, that's not really an excuse you can use. You have to use I mean, we're playing here. You have to give everything you have at this point. But, I mean, for Catholic, I think it's just, I think a lot of it is depth, too. Because, I mean, you have multiple guys that could start for Catholic. You have, obviously, you're going to have the best on the field at the time, but you've got multiple starters in multiple positions that they can, you know, you don't even necessarily have to wait for an injury. If a guy looks a little bit slow, throw the other guy in there, and you're good to go. You can keep rolling. Yeah.
I just don't, you know, again, I don't think Catholic, you know, it's going to come down to Kings Mountain's defense. Can they stop that Catholic offense? Because I don't think Catholic's defense is going to be able to stop the big three. And if Pacehour gets open, especially on a dead sprint,
that's something that Huss didn't really have to challenge them, was a deep threat. I mean, Zoe Wallace has the arm for it, but nobody has a Kobe Pacehour except Kings Mountain.
Right, and that he's the X factor. But Kalen Wade, I think if they can get anybody, if they have to stop somebody, and if he has a big game, Kings Mountain wins. And now to say all that, I'm gonna say 28-21 Kings Mountain.
You know, I went against Kings Mountain last week, and they proved me wrong, and I'm glad they did. Coming into this week, I take this game, and I know Charlotte Catholic's going to come in. They're going to take away something. Last week against Hunter Huss, they took away every running play that y'all had.
Yeah.
I mean, they was totally stopped. And that's probably what's going to happen tonight. They're going to say, Mac, you're not beating us. If they're going to beat us, you're going to have to go through the air. And you have to set back, is Wade better than Wallace? Has Wade seen more challenges than Wallace ever had coming into this game? Can Wade be consistent coming into this game tonight? Because he's going to have to make the plays. You know, and even Hunter said it was more of Wade making decisions in the backfield where he took off running also.
Yeah.
But this is tough, and I want Kings Mountain to win. But I've seen Charlotte Catholic just do it year after year. They're going to grind the ball out, be ball control for the whole game. Can Kings Mountain have the ball enough to make a difference?
Yeah.
If you get down early, I don't think Kings Mountain's coming back. And we see Kings Mountain score tons of points. But I'm going to go Charlotte Catholic 24, Kings Mountain 21.
Tom Cinefani just sent me a message, and he said he made a good point about Hunter Huss. He's like, Huss had never been behind, and they didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, so again,
that's something.
Yeah,
that's something.
That is.
You'll have Hunter Yancey and Jason Sane on the call for Kings Mountain at Charlotte Catholic. You can listen on WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM, and on WCSL, the YouTube channel. Just search WCSL on YouTube.com. So we're going to take another commercial break. Terry, we're going to talk about West Lincoln in a minute. Basketball. the powerhouse that is Vail, North Carolina. In don't give me that look, Terry. Don't give me that look. We'll be right back in just a minute on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show only on KTC Broadcasting.
Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby would like to remind you that open enrollment for the health insurance marketplace runs now through December the 15th. If you or anyone you know needs help with health insurance coverage options or enrolling into a plan, please ask for an appointment with Justin Witherspoon at Witherspoon Insurance Agency. Just call 704-480-9595 or visit their office located at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, or email Justin at justinwitherspoon@gmail.com. Now's the time to buy your new Kubota from Parker Farm Service in Kings Mountain. Right now, pay zero money down. Get 0% APR financing for 60 months. Come on in now for all the details. All for good on the Kubota BX Series, the Kubota B Series, the Kubota L Series, and the Kubota MX Series tractors. Again, zero money down and 0% APR financing for 60 months. Get your new Kubota today at Parker Farm Service, 126 Bessie Drive in Kings Mountain.
I am a veteran. I lost both legs in Vietnam.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
My victory was getting my benefits and a good education.
DAV helps veterans of every generation get the benefits they've earned.
I'm a veteran. I didn't want to admit it, but I had PTSD.
So veterans can reach victories, great and small.
My victory was finding help and learning that I wasn't alone.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
A winter storm headed this way. We still have some time to prepare. Tonight it's quiet, mostly cloudy, temperatures in the low 30s. Cloudy skies Saturday with rain rolling in late in the day, highs in the low 40s. It's Saturday night when snow and sleet becomes likely, 1 to 2 inches possible with lows near 30. And then Sunday we'll have snow, possibly some freezing rain and sleet. Anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of additional snowfall will be possible. I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Currently from the KTC Broadcasting Studios, it's 6:38, and the temperature is 45 degrees.
Since 1977, Shelby Heating and Air has been serving this area with the finest in Carrier heating and air conditioning products. Turn to the experts. Turn to Carrier and Shelby Heating and Air. Plus, they service all brands and are all accredited A+. Visit their website at shelbyheating.com or just call 704-487-7877. For Shelby Heating and Air, voted the best heating and air conditioning in Cleveland County, and a member of the Better Business Bureau.
Need to earn some extra Christmas money? We have the answer. See Beata Home Health Care and join their growing team of healthcare professionals. They have full and part-time positions available, with immediate opportunities in Lincoln, Gaston, and Cleveland counties. Ask about the new pay rates, and a special sign-on bonus is available. $250 for CNAs, $100 for HHAs. Just call 704-669-4000 or visit the website at Beata.com. Beata Home Health Care. We love what we do.
Look no further for your precious storage items than Uptown Mini Storage on South Lafayette Street, Shelby. This family-owned business has been continuing to serve Shelby and their greater Cleveland County area for over 20 years. Clean, safe, affordable, and secure climate-controlled and standard storage units. Call today, Uptown Mini Storage, South Lafayette Street, Shelby, 704-487-5528. That is 704-487-5528. Proud to support high school football here in Cleveland County.
Doctor, what's wrong with my husband?
Let's take a look. CKDKDS Macron. Oh, yes, I've seen this before. Your husband has coyote fever.
Coyote fever?
Yes, he's obviously learned of the hot deals going on now at your local Coyote tractor dealer.
Is this serious?
Very serious. Now is the best time to buy one of the best-selling tractors on the market. If you care at all about your husband, you'll drive him over to the Coyote dealer now. Oh, and I'm writing you a prescription for great deals on all implements, too.
Your Coyote dealer is West End Sales, Highway 1827 intersection in Vail.
Welcome back to the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show. We've wrapped up all of our picks. Both of you guys had Shelby winning. Both of you guys had Kings Mountain winning, right?
No.
No?
Split
It was
on
split on Kings Mountain.
Yeah. I went against Kings Mountain this time because last week when I went against them, they won. Hopefully they do it again.
So you're doing it on principle.
Oh, well, I'm not really saying that out loud. I just
but
hope
I
that's
am.
how it works.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't affect me.
It's going to be a tough game. That, to me, is going to be a tremendous game. Coach Greg Lloyd, I love what he does. I love what he's done for Kings Mountain. Even when Latham and them was over there helping also, they've turned that program around. Yeah. And the problem I have that I want to see them win, because we have said here year after year saying, you know what, Kings Mountain's going to be good this year, and then in game like injury. 2 or 3, somebody goes down. Mm-hmm. And they're never the same after that. And this year they've come back. Mac went down. We thought, there it goes. But he's back now, and he's playing. So they're a full health coming into this game. So
I think he's now healthy, 100% healthy now.
And obviously, maybe that time off in the middle of the season helps you, especially for a running back.
Well, he came back. I don't think he came back to Shelby game. He wasn't healthy then. He came, and then the games after that. I mean, they won, but it wasn't because of Mac.
No, yeah.
But now I think he's. If I heard that right, he's already 100. He's back at 100%. So.
All right. Well, Terry, you've got.
Yeah.
Just a sheet full of other sheets.
Oh, wow, little stickies.
It is.
Hall passes.
Hall passes.
Yeah, boy.
Nice.
And I speak of this. That's one reason when some people say, well, why'd you take them? Tradition. Tradition means a lot to me. I don't care how long you've been doing it.
Terry, you sure you're not from Belmont? That sounds like Belmont.
That's what I'm saying. If you've done it and you've been here, that's it. I mean, you know what to do. It's nothing new for you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like,
next thing he's going to say Raiders never die.
Yeah, I'm on the spotlight tonight because when you get put on the spotlight, you have to perform.
Yeah.
And to me, and nothing wrong with this, but I think that's what happened to Hunter Huss.
Yeah.
Last week, here's the spotlight, and it's something you could not pull out. Will McCoy learn from that? Yes. Will his team be as good next year? I don't know.
You're
we'll
losing
see.
a lot. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But anyway, when I went back to some of the teams that we got still in our playoffs. I went back to Robbinsville. We know they're traditional. They've got a lot of state championships that's always behind them. But 5 years, they're 52-17. Won the state championship in 2014, the 1A state championship, but 12-3. Then they had a bad year of 4-7. That's the reason their record's 52-17. Mm-hmm. Then 9-5 and 11-2. And when I flip over to the other thing, I went and said, okay, let's jump in there with Murphy. Murphy is 58-13 over the last 5 years. 11-1, 12-3, 15-1, the 1A state championship, 10-4, 10-4, all the way back to 2014. High Brighton. 58-13. You kind of sat there. Well, their biggest years have come the last 3, but they're 14-0, 16-0, won the 2AA state, 14-1, lost to South Point, in a game, and then they were 8-6, 6-6 before they become dominant. Then you move on up and you say, what's after that? Tarboro. Tarborough's consistently good year after year. 13-0, 15-0, 1 AA state champions. 2016, 12-3, 15, 12-2, 10-4 in 2014. I step up to Reedsville. Reedsville, 66-9, but they like to mention the last 3 years where they've only lost 1. Yeah. They were 14-0 this year, 15-1, 2A state runner-up. 2016, 16-0, 2A state champions, 9-4, 12-4. Shelby Golden Lions, 68-9. Over their last 5 years, 11-3, 12-3, 16-0, 15-1, 14-2, 16, 15-14, all state champions. We could add another. We went on back to 13, but what a tremendous job they've done over there. Well, when you look around and you say who is the best out of the last 5 years, Wake Forest comes in 70-2. Whew. And what have they done? They're 12-0 this year. Last year, 15-0, 4 AA champions. 2016, 16-0, 4 AA champions. 2015, they were 12-1. Lost in the championship game to Greensboro Page. Yeah, the only game they lost that year, 30-21, 4A state runner-up. 2014, guess what? They 15-1. Lost in the state championship game to Mallard Creek. So as they come along, the show is still going on, the lights are still on you, and they got over the hump in 2016 and 17, and they're probably going to win it again, So, you look at tradition, and tradition never leaves. And when you're getting there for the first time, you got to get over round one. When you go to Cleveland County, them people know how to get over round one. They know how to go through 2, 3, and 4, and all the way to state championships. Lincoln County's finally coming around with those. Gaston County's done it a few years when you go back to Ashbrook, South Point, and all of them. Yeah. But, you're looking for consistency, and some of these teams that do it year after year are always here at the end.
Exactly right. All right, guys. Next thing I want to do, I want you to give me the best player, or you can make it a top 3, however you want to do it, in each county: Gaston, Lincoln, and Cleveland counties. I'll start with Shannon because he seemed nervous about it, and I want to put him on the spot now. You can start in any county, Shannon. It doesn't have to go just however it comes to you. Yeah, however you feel. We'll go.
I'm gonna start in Gaston County, and I'm gonna say the best player, and I don't even know the kid's name.
Oh, good.
But he's the tackle from South Point. He's going to
Dowdy.
Dowdy. Offensive linemen don't get a lot of credit, and but he's. When they played Shelby, and I saw him play then, he's not when you see him on the field, he didn't look as big as I thought he would be. But if you're going to Georgia Tech, and I know they've got a new coach now, they're getting a new coach, but they run that triple option down there. They obviously saw something in him that they didn't see from anybody else around here that runs triple option. So I'm gonna say the lineman Dowdy from Gaston County.
Well, guess what? That's the same guy I had in my mind.
Lie.
No, seriously.
That was a lie.
That's the reason when you said that, I went right out and said Dowdy.
Oh, man.
Because when I look back on him on game films, and I'm not picking on anybody, anything, against Lincoln, and I saw him put guys on their back. Yeah. The guy's big. He's huge. He knows what he's doing. His blocking is perfect. And if you're not ready, that's what's going to happen to you. Yeah. You're going to be put on your back, and I'm taking the same guy.
Well, I'm gonna throw one in here just so we don't end up with 2 Larry Dowdys. I'm gonna say it's Prince Beema at Huss. We got to go defensive side of the ball.
About him, yeah.
That's a guy who's a UNC Charlotte commit, a guy who year over year his tackle numbers increased. I think the past 2 years he was over 100 both years and leading the team. So that's a guy who. That's going to be a guy that you miss as much as anybody off the Huss team next year, because that is, that's the cliche. He's the captain of your defense. He's the play caller on the defensive side of the ball. You're also going to be losing Tony Davis. There's a lot of D1 guys at Huss. It'll be interesting to see how they retool and restock going into next year. So Terry, next county, give me a name that's not Larry Dowdy.
You know what? And I guess I'm going to be biased. I'm going to go Lincoln County, and I'm going to take a young man that every time that I see him step on a football field, a baseball field, a basketball field, whatever.
Basketball field.
Yeah.
Basketball field.
You got me?
No, go ahead.
I'm going with Seth Willis.
Ooh.
The quarterback from West Lincoln.
There you go.
West Lincoln went as he went. Yeah, you had 2 good running backs. Our offensive line did their job. Great offensive line over there with the young men. But, he's the one that led them. If he was passing, it opened up them running backs to have great games. And he tied a record at West Lincoln for touchdown passes this year. It goes back to Tracy Huss, who was back in the early 90s. But he tied that record this year, and he led West Lincoln. And I'm going Seth Willis from West Lincoln.
Hey, well, that's not a bad feather in your cap to say I was the quarterback of the best West Lincoln football team ever. So
yeah, that's I was saying those days going to say Brandon Eichert.
That's what I picked up on.
That was my thought process.
I like that young man. That young man right there never knew how good he was.
Yeah,
and that's just me on my end. He was very talented. He was stronger than what he had let you know. And a lot of people did not know that. He never believed in himself sometimes. They like a lot of times when holes, he would not give holes enough time to open up, and he'd jump outside. And, and the coaches went to him like, stay with it. It's there. You just got, all you need is that little crease.
A little patience.
Yes.
My turn.
Yeah. Come on, man.
See, when it comes to Lincoln County, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. Who was the running back at North Lincoln?
Clayton Cribb.
Yep.
Okay. So is he the one going to – that's not the one going to Army?
I want to think he might.
Is he the one going to Army, or is that Howard going to Army? Brandon Howard from Bandy's. Which one's going to Army?
Ryan Howard.
Ryan Howard.
Ethan Howard.
Ethan Howard. Same difference.
There we go.
Ryan, Ethan. We'll get it there in a minute.
Yeah, we'll circle it until we get there.
But I want to say it's the kid. I want to say it's one of them's going to Army, going to West Point. Y'all don't know, do you?
No.
Off the top of my head.
Somebody. It's a team Shelby played. It's got to be North Lincoln.
Yeah.
The kid. So if that's him, whoever that running back is, okay. When you know, yeah, he was the main cog in the wheel, but if you go to West Point, I mean, that says a lot. That says a lot about not only you're a good enough football player to get there, but it says a lot about your grades. It says a lot about your character. And that, to me, is more important than what you did between the 20s or what you did between the goal lines.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if it's him. But there's a kid out there, I know he's going to – it's a running back, and I know he's going to West Point, and I'm going to say him.
All right. Good answer.
There you go.
This is a highly informed program.
That's what it is.
All right. Well, Shannon, we'll finish up with a place where you cannot pull the excuse where you don't know anything about it. We'll finish in Cleveland County. Who's your best player out of Cleveland County?
Best player out of Cleveland County, is a young man that is not playing no more now, or not this year. They're out, and that is Kewan Pryor. I saw him this year, and I know Tom is listening, Centofanti. He could say a lot more about this young man. He's just a junior. He's coming back next year. They're saying he's going to break the county record for rushing, which you've got a lot of guys that you've
a lot of names.
Yeah, a lot of great names, a lot of great players. But Kewan Pryor, he's a good kid. He's a good athlete. He's a great student. But he's just something different when he's on the field, whether it's offensively or defensively. He can put the ball in the end zone. Whenever he touches the ball, whenever it's in his hands, he can score at any place on the field. And I'm going to say Kewan Pryor from Burns High School. And next year he is going to have because Z Burns moves down next year to 2A.
2A, yeah.
And
that'll help him a little bit.
It'll help him, but he's going to open, and his size is going to hurt him for D1 schools.
Yes.
He's a D1 prospect. I'll put him in the slot, just say run, just take off running for a pass. But Kewan Pryor is a great young man.
He reminds me, who's the running back to Philadelphia just got back?
Darren Sproles. Yeah.
That's who he reminds me of.
Tariq Cohen, a guy that went to North Carolina A&T. I think he was like 5'6", $150 coming out of high school. Goes to A&T. That's the only D1 offer he has, and I mean he's really good for the Bears now.
Absolutely.
On my end, when I go to Cleveland County, I have to go with quarterback Wade from Kings Mountain. Yeah. As he goes, they go.
Yeah.
Mac does nothing unless he gives it to him. Paysauer does nothing unless he throws it to him, and he also has the opportunity to run.
Yeah.
And he's the one that leads that team on offense, and he's going to need them tonight for them to beat Charlotte Catholic. He's got to take whatever Charlotte Catholic does not want him to have. If they take away the running, then he's going to beat them through the air. So he's going to figure that out once he hits the field. If they let him pass the ball, then Mac's going to have a hard time. If they take away the passing, then Mac can have a big game.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's going to come as the game's going along. So mine's going to be Wade from Kings Mountain.
The thing with Wade, if they take away his passing, he can beat you. He's as good as
he
Mac
can
running the football.
He can.
I mean,
he was a
dangerous.
He's a guy he's a 4-year varsity athlete in football. The first year he was a wide receiver.
First year, first time he come in quarterback, it was a kid named Burns.
Darren Burns.
He hurt his ankle against Burns, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Or tore his knee or something. Because
I remember that. No, yeah, I remember
that's when
that.
Wade come in. Is like he didn't have a clue. I mean, he had to move to the quarterback position, but you could see as a sophomore, he's going to be pretty good. He's very athletic, and then he just has gotten better and better.
But, to put this on another perspective, when we went Lincoln County, now, we could have went Catawba County.
Yeah.
And I think we was all on the same page for there. It would have been Ethan Howard and what he did for Bandy's, and, great year for him. They did take a picture of him and Spade and the other guy that was running backs up there and had a 3 guy because all them other 2 guys were there when he broke the record.
Yeah.
So that was very interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So.
All right, one more thing before we get out of here. We've got West Lincoln at Cherryville basketball tonight. Milton Baker, Danny Aker on the call on WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM. Terry, give me your hot take on this game right now. Does West Lincoln have a chance?
West Lincoln's going to get better, and I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, man, there it is. Terry, you're a politician, man.
Yeah.
Just take it right around. Take it right around the question.
Well,
they'll get better.
New coach Kyle Corn was up there. I love what he does. He is as intense coach as you could have.
Mm-hmm.
He helps, Coach Markley now with the baseball team. He was helping Coach Chapman do it. Now he's took over a basketball coach. I think he's going to get these kids to play better. Right now, they're still, it's a learning phase. They got to learn him. He's got to learn them.
Yeah.
And they have started 0-4.
Mm-hmm.
But as the system goes, as you steadily progress now, hey, is West Lincoln going to win a lot of games? Probably not. And he's going to learn from that, and he's going to try to get more kids to come out. West Lincoln, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I know there's some schools, like when you go into wrestling, that's West Lincoln's main topic. Some of your best athletes are doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe they could play basketball, but you can't do both. You know what I'm saying? And that might hurt in a way. But totally, I think, will they come out with a win tonight? Maybe. I'm going to say not. I think, will it be close? I hope that it's closer than the last one. I mean, I think the last one was like 19 points, 18 points, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, anybody not got anything to do in Cherryville? It's played right up here the road from us.
Yep.
And that is one nice little hot gym.
Well, that's
it's going to be snowing, man.
I'm gonna tell you, that gym right there
Terry,
is hot. I don't
you
care
talk about,
when you go in it.
You talk about tradition. Cherryville's got the county all-time scoring leader. They got Terry Wisnett.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a guy. I mean, I want to think he might still. He's either in the G League or overseas. But I mean, you want to talk about a guy that was an absolute animal and a man when he was playing high school basketball. That's Terry Wisnett.
Yeah, he was. He was.
I mean, that was Terry Wisnett graduated the same year as me, and that was the same year that Huss won state championship. And I know it wasn't going to happen, but I would have loved to have seen the team that Huss had, and it was Terry Wisnett. But you had Thomas Best on that team too, who went to Asheville. He had a 2-sport scholarship for basketball and baseball.
He's a great baseball player.
Yeah, great baseball player. I saw him with the Grizzlies a couple seasons.
And here's what a lot of people don't understand: that this is Terry Wisnett out of Cherryville, goes to Florida State.
Mm-hmm. He goes to ECU.
Yeah, ECU. But you think back and you say, did he get a fair shot? That just shows you what talent is at these places.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we look at Terry Wisnett. This dude would play me and beat me 100-0. But against the competition
he was averaging
that he
30 in high school.
Yeah,
no problem.
Well, that's like Gabe DeVoe at Shelby when he went to Clemson. Everybody said, well, he's averaging he was a state player of the year. He's going to go to Clemson to reset the records. Hey, he didn't start this senior year.
Yeah.
He didn't fully start. He had to relearn everything.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a learning tool. But yeah, there's always something better. That's why you got.
Gabe DeVoe was my favorite player. There's a game against playing State, and he missed a shot, and State got the rebound. We won.
The only game y'all probably ever won.
It's probably true. Thanks, Gabe. Appreciate that one.
Hey, Final Four. Do you know who's in the Final Four? Is State? Are they gonna watch it?
Oh man.
I hope they do. December 29th, baby. It's on.
All right, that'll just about wrap things up. Be sure and tune in to both Shelby at High Brighton and Kings Mountain at Charlotte Catholic. We've got the Renato Automall postgame show on tonight for myself, Carson Dockery, Terry Reinhardt, Shannon Allen. We might see you next week, but if not, it's been a good run on the Witherspoon Insurance pregame show only on KTC Broadcast.
First and 10, we in the trenches. You like the water cooler, you be on the benches. Think your team better, but they lack skill. First snap, I leave your backs in the backfield. Your quarterback scared, I see it in his eyes. Sent the receiver in motion, that's just a disguise. My linebackers, they stepping up. Clog a hole, no letting up. Taking on them big blocks. On fourth down, we get big stops. My secondary is balling out. Your offense keeps stalling out. How many yards? Like none at all. Call the special teams, don't punt the ball, and it's gone. And you never see me fair catch. I get a block and then I'm gone like a Learjet. My helmet on, pass strap tight. My jersey shining in them Friday night lights.
It's 7 o'clock, WHS Shelby, North Carolina. Coming up right after these messages, we're going to join Jeff Jones and Brent Pasco with Shelby at High Brighton. Coming up right here on WHS Shelby, North Carolina. Witherspoon Insurance Agency in Shelby would like to remind you that open enrollment for the health insurance marketplace runs now through December the 15th. If you or anyone you know needs help with health insurance coverage options or enrolling into a plan, please ask for an appointment with Justin Witherspoon at Witherspoon Insurance Agency. Just call 704-480-9595 or visit their office located at 125 North Lafayette Street in Shelby, or email Justin at justinwitherspoon@gmail.com.
Need a licensed electrician to service your home? Give us a jingle, or just use this one.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
For local pros, call Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? Give us a jingle, or just use this one.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
For local pros, call Mr. Sparky.
Have you got a ping, pang, ding going on with your car or truck? Then take it to A-Plus Automotive in Shelby. A-Plus Automotive does all types of automotive repairs, from tune-ups to oil changes and complete diagnostic work. And they are a North Carolina inspection station with over 30 years of experience. See A-Plus Automotive in Shelby. They also do AC and heater repair. Get her running today with a stop at A-Plus Automotive, 1900 Elizabeth Avenue in Shelby. See Charlie Heston today or call 704-482-0441 for A-Plus Automotive in Shelby. Pregame Insurance Services in Shelby is now All Care Insurance Services, and they invite you to see their newly remodeled office and talk with them about your insurance needs. If that's too far away from you, they have an All Care Insurance location in both Gastonia and Belmont areas. All Care Insurance has strived to be the best by providing quality insurance coverage with great commitment to customer service. Whether you do coverage for your home, auto, business, life, or something more, their experienced agents are there to help you. Visit one of their convenient locations, 220 West Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, 4515 Wilkinson Boulevard in Gastonia, and 7005 Suite E Wilkinson Boulevard in Belmont. That's All Care Insurance Services.
And this is the game that many people were kind of penciling in on their calendar when they saw the brackets. One of the big questions was would South Point be in the bracket with Shelby, or would they be in the bracket with High Brighton? And once people saw that South Point was in the bracket with High Brighton, the next thing they looked at was Shelby and High Brighton in separate brackets, and they were, and it has come to pass. One thing about this team, this High Brighton football team, is they come in with a 30-game winning streak, and that is strong.
It's strong, and Shelby is one of those teams that was on the losing end of one of those 30 victories by High Brighton. That was last year, 19-7, Jeff, in a game right here that was a little bit closer than that score, although the score was still pretty close at 19-7. But a really great ball game, came right down to the end, and High Brighton went on to win, and of course the next week won the state championship at their first ever.
They sure did, and we talked about how close that game was. When you look at total yards for the game, High Brighton had 297 total yards. Shelby had 238 total yards, and High Brighton averaged 5.6 yards per play. Shelby averaged 4.8 yards per play. They're in a game where two really good teams are going at it. You can probably go back to 3 big plays, and that'll pretty much settle every big game. And one of the really big plays, Shelby blocked a punt, and Dax Hoggefield was getting ready to carry it into the end zone for a touchdown that would put Shelby up, and he was tackled by an all-state linebacker who happened to be their punter. And Shelby scored on the next play, but they were guilty of an illegal block, and Shelby ended up missing a field goal, and that was one of the really big plays. A second really big play was Shelby was down 13-7, and they were trying to strip the ball, and G. Witherspoon took it about 50 yards for the touchdown that put the game out of hand for the Golden Lions.
Yeah, it was a barn burner, and it came down right to the end. You talked about the missed field goal. Shelby was 0 for 2, High Brighton 2 for 2, and those were big as well. Red zone opportunities, because Shelby didn't have a red zone conversion. Shelby won the turnover battle 1-0, but Shelby 2 of 12 on third down and 0 for 4 on fourth down. So when it was crunch time, Shelby didn't convert those opportunities, and they'd really like to improve on third down tonight.
Yeah, third down is a huge stat, and that'll be something that we'll be paying attention to tonight. Looking at this High Brighton squad, One of the things that you'll notice when you look at the schedule is it's kind of unusual, but these teams have two common opponents. High Brighton started off with Ashe County, third game of the year, and they defeated Ashe County 56-14. Shelby played Ashe County in the second round of the playoffs, and they defeated them 45-26. And the other common opponent in the second round, High Brighton played South Point, and South Point fell to them by a score of 28-20, and Shelby defeated South Point in the 11th game of the season 41-25. So you look at those scores, and they're fairly similar. Shelby gave up a few more points, but they scored a few more points. And when you look at the overall stats, High Brighton is averaging 53 points per game and giving up 8.6. Shelby is averaging 33 points a game and giving up just under 16 points per game. And so you're looking at that, you can see that you can understand why in the Simmons ratings, which are about as good as you'll find in North Carolina High School Athletic Association as far as looking at matchups. They have High Brighton an 8-point favorite, but the Golden Lions kind of like being an underdog.
Yeah, they do. Shelby's been road warriors throughout the playoffs and in past years. They've relished that role, going on the road, being the underdog and playing with their backs against the wall. Hope to do that tonight, but it's going to be a tall order as High Brighton comes in 14-0. 30-game winning streak. Shelby comes in 11-3, Jeff, on a 10-game winning streak of their own. And so both teams really clicking at the right time. The winner goes on to Raleigh next Saturday for the 2AA state championship. We'll talk more about this ball game after this message from our sponsors. Back after this.
For over 36 years, American Safety Utility Corporation has been providing safety equipment and tools for electric utility workers, contractors, and the do-it-yourselfer. They are a proud, locally owned Shelby company located at 529 Caleb Road in Shelby. There are 3 easy ways to order. Just drop by the sales counter Monday through Friday from 8 till 5. You can call them at 1-800-438-6013, or you can visit them online at americansafety.com. American Safety Utility Corporation, 529 Caleb Road in Shelby.
Human beings can be hungry anytime they please. Maybe you messed up and didn't eat enough lunch. Perhaps dinner is very far away. It doesn't matter. Come to Arby's and solve your hunger problems with dollar sliders, cookies, small fries, drinks, and snack shakes, each for $1 from 2 to 5 p.m., not a.m. Arby's, we have the meats.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
It's the most wonderful time of the year for some extra cash, and Basic Finance in Shelby can help. Basic Finance in Shelby is behind you with the money you need. Just call 704-481-0111 or drop by their office at 306 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, right across from Shelby High School. Yes, it's the most wonderful time of the year for some extra cash from Basic Finance Company. 306 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Remember, golf on Saturday, church on Sunday. Bill Shuford Heating and Air and American Standard presents the American Standard Set the Standard event. Now through November 30th, get up to $1,000 in discounts on qualifying American Standard equipment, or get 0% APR financing with 60 equal monthly payments, plus many more special Set the Standard event offers. See Bill Shuford Heating and Air for all the details. Bill Shuford Heating and Air, 213 Campbell Street in Shelby. Call 704-484-0025. Ride today at Blanton Cars in Shelby, the new car alternative. Come on in today and ride today. Down payments start as low as $500. Come on in for all the details and check out the huge selection of late model cars, trucks,